part of my job is following Twitter because, it's part and parcel of the online content industry. You have to do social media reactions. I mean, that's what my bosses at Gannett, USA Today, expect of me in terms of, a sliver of the larger platter of post-game coverage. You have to have some social media reaction pieces. And like, there were a lot of fire Grinch tweets in the fourth quarter of this game. And of course, it's an overreaction. We know that. But I think, it's a salient point that at the midpoint of this season, preceding the Utah game, it was, wow, Alex Grinch has done an amazing job. He has done far better with what he inherited than anyone expected. I mean, he did more with less. Of course, USC's defense won the Oregon State game, and I think you could say it won the Washington State game as well. So this defense went so far above and beyond the call in the first half of the season. Now, of course, you lose Eric Gentry, you lose Raylan Goforth, and so that there's going to be some regression. It's going to be difficult, and yet, a common theme from the USC fan base during this game, following all the reactions online, was we made Jack Plummer look like Aaron Rodgers. And when
Aaron Rodgers never looked this good against SC, I'm just saying.
Not 2004, that's for sure.
At USC, he set a record for the most consecutive Aaron Rodgers, like 20 some odd in a row. So he looked pretty damn good against SC one year.
But Palmer looked. I mean, how else do we? I don't know, but hitting 400 plus, that was mind blowing.
Which is what Cam Rising did. Cam Rising threw for over 400 yards, and so one finds a few similarities here that USC and Grinch were so focused on stopping the run. I heard Tim Prangley earlier. I was tuning in, trying to find a darn StreamYard link. So thank you, Tony, for providing that. So I could get
sorry.
No, thank you. You saved the day.
Shorthanded.
I heard Tim, talk about that particular point with the USC defense, and so there is a real thing here about Grinch being so focused on stopping the run that he really didn't have a complete plan for stopping the pass. But beyond that, the thing that really concerns me the most about where this USC defense is, and I do think that Eric Gentry returning solves a lot of problems. And I did hear you guys talking about, the passing game over the middle, a lot of the slants. That Eric Gentry takes a lot of that stuff away. So I think that is a salient point. But here's the big thing. And this has also been mentioned as well, and under the larger umbrella, the larger theme of letting teams hang around. Like, instead of putting teams away, they creep back into the game. Got up by 15 over Arizona. The lead was knocked down to 2 points. So just when it seems that USC is beginning to create a cushion, there's a little bit of a letdown. All right. So that is kind of a pattern. But even more than that, the Arizona game should have been like the wake-up call, right? I mean, coming off, Utah played great. Cam Rising, Dalton Kincaid, they played great. And, because Utah is the defending Pac-12 champion, you assign Utah a certain degree of respect that you don't assign to Arizona. And that's not being mean to Arizona. It's just Utah has achieved something. Utah's paid its dues. Utah's climbed the mountain. Arizona's not in that same place. So in terms of getting through that Arizona game, like, that felt like, okay, got a bad game out of the way, survived. Now we should be better. And that didn't happen. So, like, that is really where I'm at in terms of being concerned about this defense, is that it marks a trend of continued erosion instead of nipping some things in the bud. Having a bad game against a great Utah offense, or at least a Utah offense that played great, that's one thing. And then, you have the Gentry and Goforth injuries against Arizona, and you're trying to adjust to that, and it's all very new. Okay, can kind of roll with that as well, especially since it was a road game. But here, we had a Cal insider on our weekly USC show with Mark Rogers, Jake Curtis. I mean, he and Jeff Ferrado, like, they know more about Cal football than anybody else on the planet. And Jake was very clear in saying on our Monday show, Cal's offensive line is atrocious. And so, like, this should have been a matchup that USC could have feasted on. And so to completely lose the plot in the fourth quarter, such that USC had to recover an onside kick and had to convert a 3rd and 5 to finally close the door in the final 2 minutes at home, like, that's a new level of difficulty. That is problematic on a larger scale than anything we've seen this season. Let's keep in mind that the Arizona game, Arizona got within 8 in the final two minutes after USC was up 16. I mean, USC actually had a little bit more of a cushion late in that game. Here, USC doesn't convert the 3rd and 5, and it's only 6 because Cal converted that 2-point play. You're thinking, oh, if we don't convert this 3rd and 5, Cal gets the ball with a chance to win at USC after being down 20 points entering the fourth quarter. So this is a greater degree of erosion. This is a greater degree of slippage than what we saw against Arizona. And just the fact that you're stacking together 2 straight poor performances and that you didn't really see over the course of 60 minutes. I mean, you had some good moments like the Kalen Bullock interception, Tuli Tuipulotu doing his thing, a few other sacks from other members of the defensive line. But it's really you're judged by 60 minutes, right? And so over the course of 60 minutes, what happened against Arizona really did not get fixed. So that really goes to Alex Grinch, really for the first time all year, not being able to take a bad game or at least a mediocre game and respond the next week. Fresno State was nothing special. Then came the Oregon State game, marked improvement. The Arizona State game was a ho-hum defensive performance, all things considered, and it was a better second half. But, the whole body of work left a lot to be desired. Then he comes back with the masterclass against Washington State, shutting out the Cougars in the second half. So in previous instances this season, when USC's defense was subpar, Grinch came back with something strong. And so really, for the first time all year, you're seeing a series of bad performances without a true improvement, or at least, if not improvement, the continuation of erosion. And you're not seeing kind of a leveling out in terms of minimizing the bad patches, minimizing the lulls. And I just wonder if players are mentally fatigued and the coaching that they're receiving, well, it's just not sinking through. Maybe it's just human nature thinking, we got this against Cal. We're a 21-point favorite. We're up by 20 entering the fourth quarter. Okay, human nature is part of it with young athletes. I mean, I get it. But like the screws are tightening now, and we all just saw UCLA put up 50 against Arizona State. And I heard Tony talking about, the over-under being 249, not too far from the truth. So Alex Grinch is coming up against a moment of truth. And it's not so much that USC might not beat UCLA, though that would obviously be a gut punch. But like if USC, which gave up 62 to UCLA last year under Dante Williams, like if UCLA puts another 60 burger on USC, that is going to undo a lot of the goodwill that Alex Grinch has built with this defense, through the first half of the season. Well, and this Cal game offered like a hint of that erosion of goodwill. There is something that really needs to be built back, and Alex Grinch is running out of time in which to do that.